I mostly read public domain books here on Glenn Reads Books to You, and they were written a long time ago, so they're usually racist, or sexist, or bigoted, but in there somewhere is a story, and that's why those stories are famous. Other times, I read works from independent authors, and they're delightfully not racist, but they might have adult language or adult situations, like, making sex. So that's your warning, but I'm sure you're grown up enough to handle it. Don't write to me complaining. Seems like it's gone later this time than he normally takes to wake up out of his trance-like state. Oh, there you are! Oh, look at you blinking, huh? My little Liebchen, you little sleepy baby. You've just been staring out the window like you do every week in some sort of zombie-like state. I always get concerned that you're going to dehydrate or die or something, so I keep trying to slip water down your throat and maybe feed you like a little corn chip, just something. But nope, you still produce urine and feces while you sit there looking out the window like some kind of idiot. Why don't we get going? Hit the road, huh? All right. So, welcome to the Glenn Reads Gothic Books to You while driving in his car podcast. It's a fun little bit where I pretend to go on a road trip with you while reading books out loud and not just recording in my basement. This is where I read the hottest public domain books and short stories. This week we're going to continue to read Jane Eyre, an autobiography by Charlotte Brontë. Want to learn a little bit about the author? You still seem pretty groggy. You're probably not going to pay attention to the fact that I stole this from Wikipedia. Charlotte Brontë, born April 1st, 1816, and died March 31st, 1855 at the age of 38, was an English novelist and poet, and was the elder sister of Emily, Anne, and Branwell Brontë. You want to hear some fun facts about the author that I stole from AnneBrontë.org? Sure you do. Charlotte rejected her best friend's brother with terrible consequences. Despite her concerns about her appearance, Charlotte Brontë rejected at least 3 proposals of marriage that we know of. The first was from Ellen's brother, Henry Nussey. He later married Emily Prescott and became the vicar of Hearthsage in Devonshire. I feel like I read this already. Well, I'm reading it again. He remained there for only 2 years. However, before ill health made him give up his career as a priest, he was later committed to Arden House Lunatic Asylum, where he hanged himself in 1860. Mother of pearl. I guess maybe it's good that she didn't marry him. Or she drove him to insanity. No, he got married to somebody else. Somebody else drove him to insanity. Charlotte really did know a family called Eyre. Charlotte often visited Ellen at Hathersage. I hate these town names, where she frequently stayed with their brother. In the middle of the Peak District, it was later depicted as Morton and Jane Eyre. Inside the Hathersage Church that Henry Nussey presided over is the large tomb of Robert Eyre, a stained glass window to William Eyre, who was leading light of the Hathersage Society, I don't care, at the time of Charlotte's visits. She would have visited Eyre family from North Lees Hall near Hathersage, and this is likely to have been the inspiration for Thornfield Hall in Jane Eyre. Inside it was a grand and imposing cabinet with 12 panels, each depicting an apostle. The cabinet, this sounds like a real fun cabinet, the cabinet was recreated in the book and now resides in Bronte's Parsonage Museum. Do we got time to read another one before the grandfather clock goes off telling me to shut up from the trunk of the car that I keep the grandfather clock in? Nope, guess not. Okay, well, why don't you sit back? Why don't you put your foot on the steering wheel while I continue reading this book? Well, there you go. Why don't you get yourself settled? Can you put your hand or your foot on the steering wheel? It's hard for me to read with the steering wheel in the way. So if you could just do the steering for me, I'd appreciate it. Chapter 8. Ere the half hour ended, 5 o'clock struck. School was dismissed, and all were gone into the refectory to tea. I now ventured to descend. It was deep dusk. I retired into a corner and sat down on the floor. The spell by which I had been so far supported began to dissolve. Reaction took place, and soon, so overwhelming was the grief that seized me, I sank prostrate with my face to the ground. Now I wept. Helen Burns was not here. Nothing sustained me. Left to myself, I abandoned myself, and my tears watered the boards. I had meant to be so good, and to do so much at Lowood, to make so many friends, to earn respect and win affection. Already I had made visible progress. That very morning I had reached the head of my class. Miss Miller had praised me warmly. Miss Temple had smiled approbation, as she had promised to teach me drawing and to let me learn French. If I had continued to make similar improvement 2 months longer, and then I was well received by my fellow pupils, treated as an equal by those of my own age, and not molested by any. What now? Here I lay again, crushed and trodden on. And could I ever rise more? Never, I thought, and ardently I wished to die. While sobbing out this wish in broken accents, someone approached. Well, I started up. Again, Helen Burns was near me. The fading fires just showed her coming up the long, vacant room. She brought my coffee and bread. Come, eat something, she said, but I put both away from me, feeling as if a drop or a crumb would have choked me in my present condition. Helen regarded me, probably with surprise, and I could not now abate my agitation, though I tried hard. I continued to weep aloud. She sat down on the ground near me, embraced her knees with her arms, and rested her head upon them. In that attitude, she remained silent as an Indian, and I was the first who spoke. Helen, why do you stay with a girl whom everyone believes to be a liar? Everybody, Jane. Why, there are only 80 people who have heard you called so, and the world contains hundreds of millions. But what do I have to do with millions? The 80 I know despise me. Jane, you are mistaken. Probably not one in the school either despises or dislikes you. Many, I'm sure, pity you much. Well, how could they pity me after what Mr. Brocklehurst has said? Oh, Mr. Brocklehurst is not a god, nor is he even a great admired man. He's a little liked here. He never took steps to make himself liked. Had he treated you as an especial favorite, you would have found enemies, declared or covert, all around you. As it is, the greater number would have offered sympathy if they dared. Teachers and pupils may look coldly on you for a day or two, but friendly feelings are concealed in their hearts. And if you persevere in doing well, these feelings will ere long appear so much more evidently for their temporary suppression. Besides, Jane, she paused. Well, Helen, said I, putting my hand into hers. She chafed my fingers gently to warm them, and went on. If all the world hated you, and believed you wicked, while your own conscience approved you and absolved you from guilt, would you not be without friends? Now, I know I should think well of myself, but that's not enough. If others don't love me, I'd rather die than live. I cannot bear to be solitary and hated. Helen, look here. To gain some real affection from you, or Miss Temple, or any other whom I truly love, I would willingly submit to have the bone of my arm broken, or to let a bull toss me, or to stand behind a kicking horse and let it dash its hoof at my chest. Hush, Jane. You think too much of the love of human beings. You are too impulsive, too vehement. The sovereign hand that created your frame, put life into it, has provided you with other resources than your feeble self, or than other creatures feeble as you. Besides this earth, and besides the race of men, there is an invisible world and a kingdom of spirits. Spirits! That world is around us, for it's everywhere, and those spirits watch us, for they are commissioned to guard us. And if we were dying in pain and shame, if scorn smote us on all sides, and the hated crush us, angels see our tortures, recognize our innocence, if innocence would be, as I know you are on the charge with Mr. Brocklehurst, as weakly and pompously repeated the second hand from Mrs. Reed, for I read a sincere nature in your ardent eyes and of your clear front, and parentheses. That was a really weird way to write that. So she writes, angels see our tortures, recognize our innocence, then parentheses, if innocent would be, blah, 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 ardent eyes, and on your clear front, end parentheses. And God waits only the separation of spirit from flesh to crown us with a full reward. Why then would we ever sink overwhelmed with distress, when life is so soon over, and death is so certain an entrance to happiness? To glory? I was silent. Helen had calmed me, but in the tranquility she imparted there was an alloy of inexpressible sadness. I felt the impression of woe as she spoke, but I could not tell whence it came, and when, having done speaking, she breathed a little fast and coughed a short cough, I momentarily forgot my own sorrows to yield a vague concern for her. Resting my head on Helen's shoulder, she's probably got tuberculosis, you shouldn't be touching her, I put my arms around her waist. She drew me to her, and we reposed in silence. We had not sat long thus, when another person came in. Oh, God, some heavy clouds swept from the sky by a raising wind, and we had left the moon bare, and her light, streaming in through a window near, shone full upon both of us and our approaching figure, which we at once recognized as Miss Temple. "I came on purpose to find you, Jane Eyre," she said. "I want you in my room, and as Helen Burns is with you, she may come too." That's weird. Do they do it to keep warm? Or is it just normal for adults to sleep with children in a school? Was that ever normal? We went, following the superintendent's guidance. We had to thread some intricate passages and mount a staircase before we reached her apartment. It contained a good fire and looked cheerful. Miss Temple told Helen Burns to be seated in a low armchair on one side of the hearth, and herself taking another, she called me to her side. "Is it all over?" she asked, looking down at my face. "Have you cried all your grief away?" "I'm afraid I should never do that. Why? Because I have been wrongly accused, and you, ma'am, and everybody else will now think me wicked." "Well, we should think you what you prove yourself to be, my child. Continue as an active good girl, and you shall satisfy us." "Shall I, Miss Temple?" "You will," she said, passing her arm around me. "And now tell me, who is this lady whom Mr. Brocklehurst called your benefactress?" "Mrs. Reed, my uncle's wife. My uncle's dead, and he left me to her care." "Did she not then adopt you of her own accord?" "No, ma'am. She was sorry to have to do it, but my uncle, as I have often heard servants say, got her promise before he died that she would always keep me." "Well, now, Jane, you know, or at least I will tell you, that when a criminal is accused, he is always allowed to speak in his own defense. You have been charged with falsehood. Defend yourself, to me as well as you can. Say whatever your memory suggests is true, but nothing, exaggerate, nothing." I resolved, in the depth of my heart, that I would be most moderate, most correct. And having reflected a few minutes in order to arrange coherently what I was going to say, I told her all the story of my sad childhood. Exhausted by emotion, my language is more subdued than it generally was when it developed that sad theme. And mindful to Helen's warnings against the indulgence of resentment, I infused into the narrative far less of a gall and wormwood than ordinary. Thus restrained and simplified, it sounded more credible. I felt, as I went on, that Miss Temple fully believed me. In the course of the tale, I had mentioned Mr. Lloyd as having come see me after the fit, for I never forgot, to me, frightful episode of the Red Room. Oh, that's right, the Blood Room. In detailing which, my excitement was sure, in some degree, to break bounds, for nothing would soften in my recollection the spasm of agony which clutched my heart when Miss Reed spurned my wild supplication for pardon, and locked me in the second time in the dark haunted chamber. I had finished. Miss Temple regarded me with a few minutes in silence, and then she said, "I know something of Mr. Lloyd, and I shall write to him. If his reply agrees with your statement, you shall be publicly cleared from every imputation. To me, Jane, you are clear now." Well, she kissed me. And still keeping me at her side, where I was well contented to stand, for I delivered a child's pleasure from the contemplation of her face, her dress, her one or two ornaments, her white forehead, that's a weird way of describing someone, her clustered and shining curls, the beaming dark eyes. She proceeded to address Helen Burns. How are you tonight, Helen? Have you coughed much today?" "Not quite so much, I think, ma'am." "The pain in your chest?" "It's a little better." Miss Temple got up and took her hand and examined her pulse. Then she returned to her own seat. As she resumed it, I heard her sigh low. She was pensive a few minutes, then rousing herself, she said cheerfully, "Well, but you two are my visitors tonight, and I must treat you as such." She rang her bell. "Barbara," she said to the servant who answered it, "I have not yet had tea. Bring the tray and place cups for the two young ladies." And a tray was soon brought. How pretty to my eyes did the china cups and the bright teapot look. Placed on the little round table near the fire, oh, how fragrant was the steam of beverage and the scent of the toast, of which, however, I, to my dismay, for which I was beginning to get hungry, discerned only a few small portions. Miss Temple discerned it too. "Barbara," said she, "can you not bring a little more bread and butter? Oh, there's not enough for 3. Barbara went out and soon returned. "Madam, Miss Harden says she has sent up the usual quantity." Miss Harden, be it observed, was the housekeeper, a woman after Mr. Brocklehurst's own heart, made up of equal parts whalebone and iron. Oh, shit. How long has that been behind us? We're getting pulled over? Okay, hold on. All right, clearly we're getting pulled over for some reason, so just stay cool. Stay cool and don't poop yourself again, especially not with the cop here.
Sir, do you know why I stopped you?
I had no idea. I was just minding my own business here with my passenger in this car, and you pulled me over. Everything should be fine.
Well, I noticed when you passed by back there that your tabs are expired on your car. The tabs, do you know they're expired? That they are all. They are expired. You cannot drive the car.
Hey! We talked about this.
I was explaining.
You need to wait for. No. You need to wait for me to get out of the car.
I can do this. Okay. I was explaining the tabs, just like we talked about.
Okay. I'm a little confused. I'm minding my own business. I was not speeding. You say my tabs are expired.
That's right. Your tabs are expired.
Is it okay if I get out of the car? Is that going to be dangerous? Can I go look at the tabs?
Listen, do you have a gun? If you have a gun, I have a gun, and I don't want to use my gun.
I don't have a gun. I don't have a gun.
You better not have a gun, because I will use my gun. Don't make me...
Mother of pearl.
It's true. He has a gun.
He has a loaded gun?
She knows. She knows I have a gun. I have a gun right now. Don't make me do this. I don't want to escalate. Please do not escalate. You only have the tabs.
His accent is really thick.
You gotta really. He's asking you not to escalate. He's telling you not to.
Okay,
escalate.
I'm not going to escalate. Okay, I'll stay in the car.
You have me all panicked, and I don't want to do shooting. Okay.
I'm not catching a lot of what he's saying. Where are you from? Your accent is very thick.
America.
Well, we're all from the great nation. You're his, what are you, a ride-along? Is
a
partner?
It's either this or administrative lead.
My authority is bound by the state, okay?
He has plastic handcuffs. Real gun, plastic handcuffs.
Real gun, plastic handcuffs.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to tell anybody. Oh, my God.
Well, what you're doing is, I'm trying to simply read a book on this road trip. We're here with my passenger of my car, and you pulled me over. It's fine. So I got expired tabs. Can I just keep driving with expired tabs? Is that going to be a problem, or?
Listen, I don't want to be the guy that says you can't drive with your feet. But we did notice that you were driving with your feet, and that is also against the law. So, if you would... I don't know how to proceed exactly. You're making this difficult.
We went over this. No, we went over this. Just take a big deep breath.
Okay.
We talked about this. All right. Feel your right pocket. What's in your right pocket, buddy?
My keys. My keys.
Yeah.
My keys.
Yeah, what's behind the keys? Yeah.
My keys and my fidget spinner.
Okay. So there's the book of things that we what do we do with it? We write on it, right?
Oh yes, yeah. Sir. I am pulling out my ticketing book.
There you go, bud. Good job.
Thank you. I learned all about this. So here is the ticket book. Now, when I'm filling this out, it says name here. Now, is that my name that I put in there, or?
What, are you serious? He never even asked for my ID or anything. He doesn't even know what name to put in. He's going to put his own name. Go ahead, put your own name in the thing. I don't care.
You are listed right here under criminal as Speeder, which is what you are. Do I even need your name? I don't think so. Speeder. S-P-E-D-E-R. Speeder.
What do you mean, speeder? Which also, as a bookman, you misspelled it. But I wasn't speeding. You said it was tabs. Idiot, you said tabs earlier.
For HR purposes, I'm going to ask that you don't call this officer an idiot.
That's right.
For God's sakes, you said he's got plastic cuffs.
I'm a law enforcement officer, sir. I can enforce the law by the law of the state, which I'm in. And you're also in. So I am a law enforcement officer. I will shoot. Calm down. There's a fidget spinner in my pocket. It's fine.
Yeah, deep breath, vibe.
Everything's just fine.
Give it a spin. Go for a little spin.
What the hell is going on here?
Everything's fine. Everything is fine.
I would very much like to leave this situation.
Sir,
you have an officer that seems very unstable. You have a ride-along or whatever the hell you are. What are you, HR?
Perfectly stable. You have your tabs are expired. You should go get them.
We're back to that. That's
expired. How do you know what an unexpired?
You're an officer from this state.
This state? Yes.
Do you have what state do you come from? You said you have the authority of this state. Are you from this state? Because your accent sounds very French.
I am from the United States. So, yes,
yeah,
I'm
but
from
where?
Here.
All right.
This one.
I'm going to talk to your partner. Does he get confused easily? Am I in danger, madam? That if I just were to drive away right now and ditch the fuzz?
Please do not drive away. I will shoot.
What's it going to take to get out of this situation?
For HR reasons, I cannot answer this question.
Oh, for God's sake. Do I have to sing to him?
Thank you.
Do I need to soothe him with song?
If anything, if you're going to soothe me with song, I prefer the song Everyday People. Can you do that one? That's my favorite.
God damn it, I don't know that goddamn song.
Well, it looks like you're getting shot.
I'm just going to wing it, not knowing what Everyday People song is. Everyday people doing everyday things with their...
You don't know the song he's talking about?
I'm trying not to get shot. Can you help me?
Just, by the way, can she... I don't know. I'm feeling upset, and I'm going to get very...
Oh, okay. Can you sing the song? You sing the song.
Honestly, I agree with him. You don't know that song?
Sing the song. I don't know the song.
I'm everyday people. I can, sir. I'm offended that you don't know this song.
Oh my God! I hate this entire situation.
I think we're dealing with a bigot here.
I'm not a bigot. What did you say? Something about a booty?
She went there with the words. Oh, the bigot words.
Everyday people. Okay, so I'm gonna go now. Is it okay if I go?
Your tabs are expired. What are you? What do you plan on doing about it?
All right, look, whatever the hell you want me to do, I can go do it. Do you want me to slip?
You know what?
Oops! I dropped $20 out my window, and it landed on the ground.
Yes, you did. Here's your $20 back that you dropped.
Okay, great. That didn't work out the way I wanted to.
Look, you know what? This is getting very out of hand. So I will not be shooting you today. Instead, I'm just going to give you what she has told me is called a warning. Because I'm not supposed to shoot first, apparently, which is not how I learned it. But she said I can just give warnings, which is letting you go unshot. And no more driving with the feet, okay? We saw that. You're not supposed to drive with feet. I'm just going to let you go with a warning, no driving with the feet, and also... get your tabs.
Can you calm him down? Can you sing Everyday People?
No,
what's
I think
the song?
he's being very reasonable.
Oh, is he?
Actually,
okay.
I think you should take your warning, sir.
Okay, I'm taking the warning. It says criminal
need to play with
on
my
it.
fidgets. It does. If you notice, your first name is initialized as C.Iminol. I left the R out because I feel it's offensive, so that's why it's spelled
You did
that
a
way.
great job, bud. You want to go to McDonald's?
Thank you so much. Yes, I would love to go to McDonald's. Oh my God. It's going to be the
Excellent.
best
Let's
day.
get out of here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's McDonald's.
Okay, well, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I don't know what the hell that was. Oh, here we go. Oh, there we go. Peeling out. Can't catch the wind, Fuzz. Well, whatever that was about, I guess we're heading to the DMV. Jesus H. Christ. Where the hell are we supposed to find a DMV? I don't even know what state we're in. Can you do me a favor? Do you have maybe a smart telephone device that you can maybe look it up on Google Maps or something? Let me know where we are and where the nearest DMV is. Hopefully we'll get to it by the end of the episode. Meanwhile, while you're looking that up, I am going to continue reading this chapter. Oh, very well, returned Miss Temple. We must make it do. Barbara, I suppose. And as the girl withdrew, she added, smiling, fortunately, I have it in my power to supply deficiencies for this once. Having invited Helen and me to approach the table and place before each of us a cup of tea with one delicious but thin morsel of toast, she got up, unlocked the drawer, and taking from it a parcel wrapped in paper, disclosed presently to our eyes a good-sized seed cake. I meant to give each of you some of this to take with you, said she. But as there is so little toast, you must have it now. And she proceeded to cut slices with a generous hand. Oh, we feasted that evening on the nectar and the ambrosia, and not the least delight of the entertainment was the smile of gratification with which our hostess regarded us, as we satisfied our famished appetites on the delicate fare she liberally supplied. Tea over and the tray removed, she again summoned us to the fire. Oh, we sat on each side of her, and now a conversation followed between her and Helen, which it was indeed a privilege to be admitted to hear. Miss Temple had always something of serenity in her air, a state in her mien of refined propriety in her language, which precluded the deviation into the ardent, the excited, the eager, something which chastened the pleasure of those who looked on her and listened to her by a controlling sense of awe. None of that made any sense to me, and such as my feeling now, but as to Helen Burns, I was struck with wonder. The refreshing meal, the brilliant fire, the presence and the kindness of her beloved instructress, or perhaps more than all of these, something in her own unique mind had roused her powers within her. They woke, they kindled. First, they glowed, in the bright tint of her cheek, which till this hour I had never seen, but pale and bloodless, when they shone in the liquid luster of her eyes, which had suddenly acquired a beauty more singular than that of Miss Temple's, a beauty neither of fine color, nor long eyelash, nor pencil brow, but of meaning, of movement, of radiance. Kind of the argument of you look prettier without makeup. Then her soul sat on her lips, and language flowed. From what source? I can't tell. But has a girl of 14 a heart large enough, vigorous enough, to hold the swelling spring of pure, full, fervent eloquence? Such was the characteristic of Helen's discourse on that, to me, memorable evening. Her spirit seemed hastening to live within a very brief span, as much as many live during the protracted existence. As many live during a protracted existence. All right, fine. Or live. I think I'm zoning out while reading this, which probably isn't good since I'm also driving a car. Can you put your hand on the wheel? There you go. I appreciate it. Many live. It's clearly the word live. I mean, it's spelled the same. It's the context. Just steer the car. They conversed of things I had never heard of nations and past times, of countries far away, of secrets of nature discovered or guessed at. Oh, they spoke of books, how many they've read, ! What stores of knowledge they possessed, ! When they seemed so familiar with French names, and French authors. Oh, but my amazement reached its climax when Miss Temple asked Helen if she sometimes snatched a moment to recall the Latin her father had taught her. And taking a book from the shelf, bade her read and construe a page of Virgil. And Helen obeyed, my organ of veneration expanding at every sounding line. Oh, she had scarcely finished ere the bell announced bedtime. No delay could be admitted. Miss Temple embraced us both, saying as she drew us to her heart, God bless you, my children. Helen, she held a little longer than me. Oh, she let her go more reluctantly. It was Helen, her eye followed to the door. It was for her she a second time breathed a sad sigh. For her she wiped a tear from her cheek. On reaching the bedroom, we heard the voice of Miss Scratchard, and she was examining drawers. And she had just pulled out Helen Burns's, and when they entered, Helen was greeted with a sharp reprimand and told that tomorrow she should have half a dozen of untidily folded articles pinned to her shoulder. My things are indeed in shameful disorder, murmured Helen to me in a low voice. I intended to have them arranged, but I forgot. Next morning, Miss Scratchard wrote in conspicuous characters on a piece of pasteboard the word slattern. Well, let's look up the word slattern. Have we already looked this up before? It's been months I've been reading this thing. An untidy of a slovenly woman. Really a specific word for an untidy slovenly woman. Wow, slattern. And bound it, is there one for a man? And bound it like a phylactery. Not looking it up. Around Helen's large, mild, intelligent, and benign-looking forehead. What's with the foreheads? Constantly people are being judged on their foreheads. She wore it till evening, patient, resentful, regarding it as the deserved punishment. The moment Miss Scratchard withdrew after afternoon school, I ran to Helen, tore it off, and thrust it into the fire. Oh, the fury of which she was incapable had been burning in my soul all day. And tears, hot and large, had continually been scalding my cheek, for the spectacle of her sad resignation gave me an intolerable pain at the heart. About a week subsequently to the incidents above narrated, Miss Temple, who had written to Mr. Lloyd, received his answer. It appeared that what he had said went to corroborate my account. Miss Temple, having assembled the whole school, announced that inquiry had been made into the charges alleged against Jane Eyre, and that she had the most happy to be able to pronounce her completely cleared from every imputation. The teachers then shook hands with me and kissed me. Why do they keep kissing all the time, especially with tuberculosis floating around? And a murmur of pleasure ran through the ranks of my companions. Thus relieved of a grievous load, I from that hour set to work afresh, resolved to pioneer my way through every difficulty. I toiled hard, and my success was proportionate to my efforts. Oh, my memory, not naturally tenacious. Yeah, imperfect practice. Exercise sharpened my wits, and in a few weeks I was promoted to a higher class. In less than 2 months, I was allowed to commence French and drawing. Oh, I learned the first 2 tenses of the verb iterate, don't care, not learning it, and sketched my, I didn't learn it, she learned it, and sketched my first cottage, whose walls by and by out-rivaled in slope those of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. On the same day, that night, on going to bed, I forgot to prepare in imagination the Burmicide supper of a hot roast potatoes or white bread and new milk, which I was wont to amuse my inward cravings. I feasted instead on the spectacle of ideal drawings, which I saw in the dark, all the work of my own hands, freely penciled houses and trees, picturesque rocks and ruins, cube-like groups of cattle, sweet paintings of butterflies hovering over unblown roses, of birds picking at ripe cherries, of wrens' nests enclosing pearl-like eggs, wreathed about with young ivy sprays. I examined, too, in thought the possibility of my ever being able to translate currently a certain little French story which Madame Perrault had that day shown me. Nor was the problem solved to my satisfaction ere I fell sweetly asleep. Well, as Solomon said, better is a dinner of herbs where love is than a stalled ox and a hatred therewith. I would not now have exchanged Lowood with all of its privations for Gateshead and its daily luxuries. Oh, I turn here? Okay, so if I turn here, I can get to the DMV? All right, well, let's pull up and go in. Well, we're here, stuck at the DMV, waiting to get tabs. I forget what my number is.
R834 at counter number 12.
What number are we? You have the ticket. No? All right. What did we learn on this road trip? Burp.
B406
Is that us?
at counter number 4.
That's not us. All right. So
R835 at counter number 22.
is that us? No. How long are we going to be here? All right. Well, anyways, what did we learn? Crying babies. God, I hate this place. Things like this, where the government won't let me drive a car, is what's going to turn me slowly into a libertarian. We learned that Jane Eyre gets accused unfairly of being a bad kid, and she takes it really personally. Then the tuberculosis kid, Helen, makes her feel better and brings in what's-her-name, and then she makes her feel better.
498 at counter number 23.
Is that us? No. God, we're going to be here forever. So she gets to feel better, and then she writes, what's-her-name writes to the guy, and then the guy writes back saying, sounds good, I'm sure she's innocent. And then all of a sudden everyone's like glad-handing her. Like, oh yeah, great job. Like she's a politician that just won some kind of election. But, you know, good for her. So I guess now her life has gotten easier. She's been allowed to learn French and to draw pictures. So she sits around daydreaming about drawing pictures all the time and painting and whatnot. So she's just become the best student in the world. Something horrible has got to happen, and I'm guessing it's going to be Helen. Helen is going to die of tuberculosis because of the coughing.
837 at counter number 9.
You know what? I'm just going to sit here. We've already reviewed it. Not a whole lot's happened. Every chapter, not a whole lot happens. So I'm just going to sit here and just wait till we can finally get back in the car. Oh, no, you're zoning out again. Don't do that here. Don't zone out here. Oh, God, you're staring off into space. I can't fix your poop if we're in the DMV. Oh, wait, this might be us.
4 at counter number 12.
Well, it appears you found me in the part of the podcast I hate the most, where I tell you all about the places on the internet where you can find me. You can tell I hate this because of the sound effects making it sound like a stormy night in the drawing room of the damned. Now, are you cool? I like cool people. It's the reason why I got involved in this business to begin with, just to meet cool people, not losers. So if you're cool, feel free to go over to my website, nuzzlehouse.com. Don't bother looking for us on social media because we've given it all up after the election with how evil everyone is from Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. I shut it all down. But you can find us on Blue Sky, nuzzlehouse.bsky.com. I don't know. We got a Christmas album on our website, which we should do. Everyone should do when they get married, make a Christmas album. We got Just Stay the Curious Mind, where we make paranormal smut, Masterpiece Auditorium review books, and Two Things, One Cup with Elton from Elton Reads a Book a Week. And since I think you might be cool, you can always just email me directly, glenn.nuzzles@gmail.com. But don't email if you're a nerdlinger or a dork. Now, back to business. I can't believe I drank all of them already. There's got to be one left.